Now you clicked on this video, you're reading the title, you're either very confused or you know what's going on. And this is because a very interesting leak occurred late last night for Black Ops 3, in which tons of new code was found within the game pointing to a sick DLC pack with actual real proof. If you want to see that video, I've got it as an interactive card on screen now and also down below in the description. But in this video, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into what exactly this sick DLC pack could be, as it's codenamed MPHD, meaning it could be a multiplayer remastered map pack, but it could also very much also contain some zombies, which we'll talk about in the video. But before we jump into anything, if you want a sick DLC in Black Ops 3, then click the like button right now. I'd love to use that as a way to gauge the interest in a sick DLC before the release of Black Ops 4, and if you have any thoughts and opinions on what you'd like to see in it, then leave all your thoughts down below in the comments section. You can do that right now, or you can do it as the video is playing. But before you leave a comment that this sick DLC isn't going to happen, watch all the way through the video before you come to a conclusion. But anyway, let's jump in. To briefly sum it up, a Twitter user called Chris Bob tweeted at Glitching Queen a interesting screenshot on his game of zombies where it said that he had missing map packs which included DLC 6 as well as the DLC 4 Zombies map pack Revelations, part of Salvation. Now this looks a bit different to your typical in-game messages, as normally this looks a lot less messy, and the reason why it looks different is because typically within games, when you have text displayed in the menu like this, the technical aspects of it is it's stored in a key value pair. And a key value pair is a data type used in games for storing data such as, messages which the game wants to display. For Treyarch to display a message, if a user does not own a DLC pack, it needs to be a message which is in every spoken language on Earth. So if you've got the English version installed, or you've got the Spanish or German version, Treyarch need to display that message in the correct language for the localized version of the game that's playing. So in order to do this, they have a key, which is the code that you see on the screen, that menu DLC 6 name short. And that key has a value that is associated with that code. So the key essentially points to the value that will display the relevant information in your language in the game. But it doesn't exist at the moment in the game, which is why we're seeing the coded version for it, the key essentially, the menu DLC 6 name short. The game is telling him he's missing a previously unknown DLC, which is DLC 6. This of course spread like wildfire throughout the community, starting with Glitching Queen's video, who brought more light to this, so big shout out to her. And then a Twitter user called LimeXTiger found within the code that there were new strings for a DLC 6. All of us went crazy assuming, what could this be? Could this just be the, additional multiplayer maps that we've been given through seasonal updates in BO3 this year? Could it just be a error? But then DTZ Exporter and Dr. Lil Robot, two very awesome popular modders, got their hands on the game coding and managed to realize that this new DLC 6 might not possibly be Zombies maps, as it did not have the ZM suffix unlike the rest of the Zombies exclusive DLC does. But then after looking through the files with DTZ Exporter, it was found that there was potential for these to still somehow be related to Zombies, as if in the game files and strings, menu underscore DLC 5 underscore maps of course refers to Zombie Chronicles, but there was still more to be done there. After digging through the files further, DTZ Exporter was able to find the code name that the DLC 6 string localizes to, and the code name for this is MPHD. Now, just like last year with the leaks before Zombie Chronicles official announcement, within the files the code name for Zombie Chronicles was ZMHD, which implies that this sick DLC is some sort of multiplayer remastered map pack. Now, you're probably still skeptical, but this stuff exists within the coding of the game. It might be a mistake, but there's even more proof that this is a feature that will soon be on the in-game store for you to purchase, and the purchasable item in question is MPHD, so it's clearly some sort of multiplayer remastered map pack. Now of course Activision had said already that Zombie Chronicles was one of the best selling downloadable content packs that the PlayStation Store has ever seen, so it's obvious that they'll want to capitalize on that and do a similar map pack again. but with the code name of this being MPHD, it does sound more along the lines of this being a multiplayer remastered map pack than another zombies one, as we don't have that ZM suffix to indicate it's part of zombies mode. We have MP, which obviously it correlates to multiplayer. Polygon had an interview recently with Dan Bunting at Treyarch, who claimed that Treyarch was still not done releasing content for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and this DLC 6 could have been what Dan Bunting was implying. But Black Ops 4 is just 4 months away from release, and it seems so weird that there is any more content coming to the game, especially in the form of a big DLC content pack, seeing as Treyarch are super hard at work on creating a new multiplayer experience with, you know, probably at least 8 to 10 new multiplayer maps there. We've got 3 new zombies maps coming on day 1, and Blackout, which is this gigantic map for Battle Royale. But again, if Activision and Treyarch saw how well received a remastered map pack was for zombies, then perhaps they think that another map pack could be done again, but this time with multiplayer. That's not to say that this might not also include some form of new zombies content. I think that would be absolutely unbelievable, but since the codename is MPHD, I'm more inclined that this is going to be more a fully multiplayer DLC. Now, I'm still sat here scratching my head thinking, how on earth have Treyarch had this much time to create another DLC pack? And like I just mentioned a moment ago, we are getting Blackout, which is going to be a mashup of loads and loads of sections of previous multiplayer maps spanning the entire Black Ops series. It's already been confirmed through press release that we're going to be getting firing range as well as Nuketown as playable areas within the Blackout map. The rest of the areas are still somewhat unknown, but a lot of people have been able to work out that Turbine from Black Ops 2 looks to be a section because you can see a bunch of windmills. But if Treyarch are creating a gigantic map full of remastered multiplayer maps, then who's to say they're not going to use some of that content and throw it into Black Ops 3? If they've already remastered a ton of multiplayer maps spanning all of the Black Ops games up until now, who's to say they can't put some of that content into Black Ops 3 if it's already created, if not just about to be finished? I've spoken to a few friends about this topic, and they sort of feel the same way. If Treyarch are creating a bunch of remastered multiplayer content already for Blackout, then it makes sense for them to just throw it into Black Ops 3 and throw a price tag on it, because multiplayer is still being played a ton within Black Ops 3. I know I wouldn't complain about getting another DLC pack, and if the content is already made, then why not have us play them as proper multiplayer maps in Black Ops 3 right now whilst we wait for Black Ops 4. I've gone ahead and made a list of all the remastered maps we've seen so far within Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 from all the previous Black Ops games to pretty much tick off the ones that we won't see, or at least I don't think they'd remake them again. But in Black Ops 3, we got Hijacked from Black Ops 2, Standoff from Black Ops 2, Raid from Black Ops 2, and Outskirts from World at War. 3 very popular Black Ops 2 maps, which I don't think we'd see in a remastered pack because technically they already are their own remastered map within the 4 DLC packs. And the only other remastered multiplayer map in Black Ops 3 that wasn't from Black Ops 2 was Outskirts from World at War, which was called Rupture. As for Black Ops 2, that was the game that started remastered multiplayer maps in each DLC pack, and we had just 2 maps from Black Ops 1 remastered, being Firing Range and Summit, and we had Courtyard remastered from World at War. Now, both of those maps are extremely popular Black Ops 1 maps, and there's a good chance that we could see both of those in Black Ops 3. I mean, they're so well popular, they could be made bigger and more expansive to match the advanced movement, so I could definitely see it, and especially with Firing Range going to be in Blackout. Now, I've made a list of what maps I think should return and could possibly be in this DLC 6 pack, seeing as they're maps that have not been remastered before and were pretty popular. So in Black Ops 2, there's Turbine, which we already assumed to be in Blackout, Slums, Meltdown, and Cargo. I think Slums was a pretty popular map. It's an amazing map for esports, and especially for modes like Hardpoint. I remember watching games of Hardpoint on this map and thinking, wow, this map was literally built for it. We also have Meltdown, which I really enjoy. It's a great search and destroy map. And we also have Cargo, which is a classic Black Ops 2 multiplayer maps. It's one of the first maps I think I've ever seen from it, and it just has a solid spot in my heart, really, as a multiplayer map. Now, with Black Ops 1, there is a ton more maps which they could bring back, since they've only really done a few from Black Ops 1. And these are just a few of the ones I think could be great within Black Ops 3, or maybe even for Black Ops 4, because they're probably going to do the same thing down the DLC cycle. But Array, Cracked, Havana, Jungle, Radiation, and WMD. I think Jungle especially is such an iconic map for using the chopper gunner, as well as Radiation. Wow, what a classic map. WMD is great for search and destroy. Havana is just amazing too. Cracked and Erased. There's just so many good maps in Black Ops 1. I don't think it can be argued. There's just so many good maps. Now, like I said earlier in the video, there's still not a line drawn in the sand exactly to this not including some form of Zombies DLC content as well. I extremely doubt it, because if they were to do a Zombie Chronicles 2.0 with all the maps we've not had, I'd rather they do it in Black Ops 4. It'd make more sense if they're doing 2 storylines and supporting both with a DLC map each. That means that we could see 2 DLC zombie maps per DLC pack, and that could include 1 new and 1 remaster, and it would just make a lot more sense. But I'd still be incredibly happy just to replay some of the Black Ops 2 maps within Black Ops 3 with a transit crew, with no actual story attached to them, just being able to physically play those maps in a better way. Transit remastered, whenever that happens, which I feel Treyarch will eventually do one day. Wow, Transit remaster could actually be quite good. I don't know. But thinking logically, for Treyarch to actually physically be able to create this much content, not only for Black Ops 4, but continuing content for Black Ops 3, like it does seem a 6th DLC is coming, I feel like the only way they've been able to do this is by using some of the multiplayer maps they've remade for Blackout and just chucking them into Black Ops 3. But I'm going to throw it over to you guys in the comment section if you want all the proof as to the existence of DLC 6 within the coding of the game. I can't show you it in this video, but I can link everything down below in the description for you guys to go and make your own mind up. But the proof is in the pudding. Treyarch are up to something, and I'm sure with it in the actual existence of the game code, it won't be long until we hear something about it. Maybe this could be a pre-order incentive for a higher edition of Black Ops 4. You pre-order and you get a DLC pack straight away for BO3 at a discounted price, or maybe the pack is exclusive to those who purchase Black Ops 4. I don't know. I really have no idea. E3 is right around the corner, where we'll probably hear some new stuff about Black Ops 4, but I'm thinking we won't hear anything about physical prestige collector's editions until next month at Comic-Con. Jason has hinted heavily that they're going to have a big zombies presence there, and that's probably where we'll see the next portion of the zombies content that they're going to show us before the release of the game, as well as the physical editions. And I don't know, maybe we'll have some news about this DLC then. Maybe Treyarch might pipe up and say something today, maybe next week. Who the heck knows, man? No one knows at this rate. We're just talking about the proof that has been slammed onto our faces. Very exciting stuff. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure you drop a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to keep yourself updated with the latest content and news for Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, and I'll catch another one very, very soon.